Okay. We're live, Coach Bryant. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hits and Heels, our latest edition. And Coach Bryant is going to be on his phone and
Not on my phone.
and not paying attention today. But we're going to go and keep it going anyway, Coach Bryant. What you got going on? I wanted to apologize because last time I said you don't like you know, I offended you, so I just want to make sure that I'm not doing that this time. But it's gonna be on your phone on this time. So, guys, today we're gonna talk mostly about flag football. We have a great guest that's coming on. One of the things that I have been trying to be on the forefront here in Kentucky is to promote girls flag football. We had our first conference or showcase in the state of Kentucky in this past March. It was a success. We had like about 60 girls show up. We had 4 college coaches show up. And I think a lot of people don't understand the amount of college coaches that or availability of college being flag football being a option for girls. And so we're going to talk about that today. But before we talk about that, Coach, you got anything going on? I know Kentucky has finalized their almost got their roster finalized. Anything else football you want to talk about before we bring on our guests?
I think safeties need to tackle.
Oh, let's talk about excuse me. Let's talk about the championship game. You just got me choked up over that.
Safeties got to tackle. And watching, congratulations to Indiana family. We're in Annapolis, Indiana. So a lot of Hoosier fans up that way, family-wise. Happy for Indiana to go undefeated. Winning big games when it mattered. A team that was well coached.
Well coached.
I mean, the head coach got a lot of the press, which we normally do when you're a head coach, but you got to have that drive for the assistant coaches because they spend more time. But during the game, I sent some information out. What I'm talking about is, he's a baby, and I know people think they're 18, they're grown. They're not grown. They're of age. He's a baby, and I made a comment about number 8 and I ain't saying his name, for safety, Miami, tackling. And there were 5 times in the game, if he tackles or even try to tackle,
that's a different game.
They get off the field.
Yeah.
And I'm not throwing it at the baby. There's a lot of plays during the game, but when you're in the secondary, when you're a DB, cornerbacks and safeties have the hardest job besides the quarterback. They do because they got to tackle guys weighing 238 pounds. Our son goes through that, and then have to guard someone that's like Cheetah.
Yeah.
With Miami Dolphins, and that's kind of
or DK Metcalf or somebody like that.
A big, strong, fast, or and that tackle.
Derrick Henry.
It's tough, but again, congratulations. Going back to the University of Kentucky football, besides the freshmen, I think most of the upperclassmen are in. Getting the
49 new players on the team.
Yeah, last year we had 50-something.
Yeah. So,
this is the era we live in, and the one and done, and who had the advantage of the one and done was basketball. So football is now getting in that basketball swing. So, good luck this year for the University of Kentucky and all schools, getting to know the players. And I know the Cats right now in basketball, will throw that out there, was playing Texas. When I came upstairs, they was winning by 9, and hope they pull it off and win 3 consecutives. But our main reason to being on the show is talk about the upcoming major sport in the United States. And you know me, I don't go gender. I don't. It's a great thing for young ladies to be able to get their opportunities to go off to college and do that labor, paying for their scholarship. And I think it's a fantastic thing to do. I think the last sport, if you will, male and female, was lacrosse. That went through that slow process throughout the United States. Certain areas, it was huge. But the United States, certain areas in the United States, it took lacrosse a long time for ladies and males started getting money at the university. And now flag football for the ladies is coming, and our guest will speak more on that. And she's got the logo in the background, and y'all can't see it yet, but it's exciting. And go ahead and put her on now.
Yeah. Coach, we're going to go ahead and bring you on. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Coach Letticia Gilmore out of California.
Out of Cali. Hold on. When you say California, I gotta ask. In the NFL, who's your favorite team?
I'm from Oakland, born and raised. All day from the Bay, the 49ers.
Hit the button. Hit the button. Well, I'm a Niner fan. I'm a Niner fan. 4-9, bang, bang, Niner game. So I had to ask.
Yeah, bang, bang. All day.
I had to ask. So you are a Vegas fan now, right?
No, I'm still I'm a Niner fan. Bang,
bang. You are a Niner fan.
Yes. Even though I was born and raised in Oakland, I like the Raiders, but I've been a Niner fan, I think, since '83.
Oh, Lord, I got two Niner fans on the show.
We don't know this before we go there. See,
bang, bang, Niner game.
I mean, do you realize, besides what you are doing in flag football, your level went higher? I mean, because I am a true bang, bang Niner fan. I am a
yes, sir.
I wish I could turn this camera around, because actually right here on the side of our studio is his shrine of all 49ers stuff.
Wow. I gotta see that.
Yeah, I can actually clothing, any type of clothing, a pen, a pencil. I can go probably 400 some days straight with something Niner on.
Wow.
I'm a bang bang. I'm a bang bang. So, but anyway, that's not what we're on here. But your level did go up besides what you do. I'm just gonna let you know. Because when you said Oakland, I went, oh gosh, I was thinking Vegas.
No. I'm a Niner faithful. So when I come to Kentucky, then I gotta see this collection.
Yes, I give a lot of weight to when I find out somebody's a Niner fan, and I've been how long we been together? Total dating, married, 16, 15. Mm-hmm. See, I've been trying, and she's one of them cowgirl fans,
Oh, no.
I've been trying for 16 years. I've been trying.
Bless your heart.
Bless her, baby. Bless your heart, baby. I'm not trying too hard. I do buy her a lot of cowboy stuff. So
he buys it. I told him to stop. I said, "You're wasting your money with these people that don't want to win."
Yeah, but
I'm still DC for life, though. It don't even matter. But Coach, welcome to Hits and Heels. It's I forgot, did we meet through a football group?
We did.
We did. Black Women Love Football. Are you going to nationals? Please tell me you're going to nationals so we can meet.
I can't promise. I'm gonna try to go. I really want to. If I can, I'm gonna be there.
A ball. And then on Saturday, I host a women's clinic. Oh. And last year Natola is an official. And so we kind of team it, and it was so good. I mean, we had no script or nothing. And you would have thought we had it scripted out. We had to kind of pivot a little bit, and it went really, really well. But it would just be nice to have another coach there, especially with more knowledgeable of the flag. I'm still learning flag. I know tackle, but I really don't know flag, but I promote flag. But it would be nice to have a coach there for flag, because the whole purpose of what I want to do with the women's clinics is because of what we're getting ready to talk about today. The amount of new jobs that are getting ready to come open, especially on the college level. But they're also going to need not just coaches, but also officials. So I just want more women to learn the game so that they can have the opportunity for those positions. I'm probably a male basher when it comes to that. I prefer women to coach women's teams, and to, even though I'm a woman coaching on a male football team, I have double standard.
No. That's not double standards. And you always say that all the time, because I make a comment. If we are watching a WNBA, or a college women's basketball game, I say before you do, why ain't all females officiating this game?
Yeah.
Like they do males. And and that's not male bashing. Is you just want the equality for both to have the opportunity, because there's probably a lot of young ladies out there want to officiate.
Absolutely.
So
and men always get the opportunity.
That we're always going to get the opportunity.
Yeah. So that's with that. So let's talk about you. We're on here to talk about you, Miss Director of Girls and Women's Sports, and you're also a flag football coach. So, and then you're hosting your very first. Is it the first annual Heritage Girls Flag Football tournament that's getting ready to come? That's in 10 days. So go ahead and start wherever you want to, and let everybody know who you are and what you got going on.
Oh my gosh. So I am Letticia Gilmore. I'm the Director of Girls and Women's Sports for the Moving in the Right Direction Foundation. So we were founded by Coach Dwayne Wright. He's our executive director, former NFL player. By experience, I've been coaching flag football for like 5 years. And I've coached basketball for over 20, but I got into flag because I have my own nonprofit. And then just last year, transitioned to working with Coach Wright. We've been good friends for several years. And our foundation is simply about mentoring our young people, grades 6 through 12, mostly student athletes, and it's about empowering them to get to the next level. We want to educate them, equip them to grow through personal development, through academics, through education, that will then transition to success on the field and then off the field. So that's what we're about. How we got to the Heritage Bowl. So yes, this is the inaugural Heritage Girls Flag Bowl. Here in California, this is the third year that we've had girls high school flag football. And so last year I was a head coach. This year I became an assistant coach at a school where my daughter attends. Shout out to the Division III section champion Christian Brothers High School.
Congratulations.
Our head coach, RJ Bradley, and our coaching staff. Awesome program. So I got into it because I wanted to do more than just basketball. And so a friend of mine told me don't limit myself. And so I started researching flag football and saw how big the community was, even say 2019, 2020. So right when I got ready to launch a girls flag football program, because boys have everything.
Have everything.
Yeah, the pandemic hit. And so we started 2021 with my first program. And we were in a league where we were the only all-girls team.
Mm-hmm.
And so the moms, of course, were excited to see us play in this league. And then a couple of years later, I gave my first chance to coach in high school. So fast forward to how we got to the Heritage Bowl. Coach Wright and I, like I said, we've been connected for several years. And he had me on his podcast talking about flag. And so the next thing I know, he creates the platform for the Heritage Girls Flag Bowl, and then reaches out to me to offer the opportunity to coach the North team. which I humbly accepted. And it just went from there for us to partner and for me to move into the position of director of girls and women's sports. And I am also the dean of students for the Sacramento chapter of the Distinguished Strong Young Leaders Mentorship Program. So we have 5 chapters of the mentorship component of what we do. So it's not just about sports. Like I said, it's about mentorship. And so we're based in San Diego, California, but now I'm putting in place initiatives to build up the Sacramento region. And so the Heritage Girls Flag Bowl is just a component of what we do. And it's about helping these young people, these young ladies to get recruited, because now the sport is just exploding. More and more states are adopting girls flag football as a high school sport. I'm sure you saw that the NCAA just voted to make women's flag football a Division I emerging sport. So now these young ladies can get scholarships on the Division I level to play flag football. And of course, 2028, it will be an Olympic sport. And the NFL, I mean, it's just crazy. The NFL is investing money for a professional flag football league. So it's just exploding. And so I'm glad that I have this platform for our young ladies. And we literally have young women coming from across the country. We have young people we've been mentoring since August via Zoom. We have young women coming from Chicago, Tennessee, New Orleans, Alabama, in addition to the contingent of young people here in Northern California and Southern California that will have a chance to showcase their talent in the Heritage Flag Bowl in front of thousands of spectators and college recruiters. So I'm so excited about that.
Well, I think a lot what you said, and some of that, please, somewhere during the show, repeat it again, because I have a great saying: "What is not understood is misunderstood." And I love the NFL's getting into it, but I'm not surprised, because here's the reason why I say this as a male. Okay, I have a stepdaughter. If she was in high school right now as a male, I want my daughter. So there's a lot of NFL players that have daughters who saying, I want to play this. There's a lot of board members of the NFL that have daughters. And it's not that this is taking place. It's the daughter is walking up to the dad and saying,
I want to play
this.
football.
And I tell people all the time, it doesn't matter how a person gets the information, as long as they get the information.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not and that's what people don't understand in this world. At my age, I just need you to get the information and let it do it. Let it do what it do, as they say. Let it do what it do. Now, and when you was talking about in San Diego, repeat that again, because I didn't really process everything on that. You said y'all starting something in San Diego.
So our foundation started in San Diego, where our founder is. So from there, we have branched out, because I'm here in Sacramento, California. So we have, so everywhere that we have a coach, because we have coaches who are in different cities that are part of our foundation. We're just growing that big. So we're building up the Sacramento region right now, where I am, to really grow our mentorship program, establish youth sports programs, kind of build on what I already started with the nonprofit that I already had. Just because I've been working in sports here in Sacramento, I want to say since about 2013, 2014, where I've coached basketball and then shifted to primarily just doing flag football, but we're based in San Diego, California.
Okay. Okay.
How far is San Diego and Sacramento?
Oh, you're talking about a 6-hour drive because San
Now,
Diego is close to Los Angeles. We're about an hour and a half away from the San Francisco Bay Area. And shout out to Coach Dwayne Wright, everybody on the board from moving in the right direction. I know they're watching. So shout out to our amazing board. And we are people who love God. When I tell you, we pray before everything we do because we understand that it is God who put us in position to do what we do, that he purposed for each one of us. And we have 4 pillars to our foundation: the Wright family, who started the foundation, the Johnson family, the Dunn family, and then my family. So we have come together collectively as one big family, and our family is expanding with all the families that we get to have an impact in the lives of their young people. So it's a blessing and an honor. And because we're doing it to bring glory to God through
Amen.
sport and mentorship, he's just blessing us left and right.
Oh, I bet. So who did Coach Wright play for in the NFL?
So Coach Wright was drafted by, I believe, initially by the Buffalo Bills. He also played for the New York Giants, the Philadelphia Eagles, and he was drafted out of Fresno State.
Okay.
And the neatest thing about that with Coach Wright is those are 4 different areas that he's going to have an impact verbally, and because of his name. And people don't understand that, we live in a world, that's not
It's all about who you know.
It's who you know, and
Right.
and who will allow you to open a door. I mean, and it's a great thing, and it's fantastic about that. So again, shout out Coach Wright and everyone else that you mentioned before. Now, my question with this is, with the NCAA doing what they're doing, okay, when do you think, just an educated guess, it's not a factual, that all the major universities will get on board with this?
That is a real good question because I just saw where Nebraska just started their program. So,
And they're the first
Division
power.
One, yes, they're the first Power 4 school, which is huge, a huge step. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be a gradual process. I think we'll see maybe over the next year or so. I'm just guessing because if you've like seen it in social media, especially on IG, there are schools like Cal, USC, Long Beach State, Alabama State, which was the first HBCU
And the first D1.
The first D1 HBCU to start a women's flag football program, that they've started as club sports. And I believe University of Florida already had theirs because my mentor, Coach Angelica Grayson, is a former coach at the University of St. Mary. And I remember her talking about playing against either Florida or Florida State. And they were just a club team. So you have universities, D1, and these Power 4 schools who already had club teams in place. So now I'm sure the money will come in to shift those programs into the scholarship programs. But like I said, maybe a year or so. That's just my estimated guess. And I think the next vote will be for Division II schools to make it an emerging scholarship sports. As you know, the NAIA D3, the smaller schools, have already had it and had it for years. So now my concern is the competition between those Division I schools being able to offer it and offer scholarships, competing, and the smaller schools have to compete with that. So that's going to be an interesting thing to watch?
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was just saying that. Remember, we went to go watch our daughter play
Well,
when she was at EKU.
Well, and I guess I mean let's. I'm gonna get deep a little bit. Okay.
And it was club.
Okay. Not 99% of all D1 schools already have clubs. I mean, like here at the University of Kentucky, I know they do. I mean, they play pickup flag football right there on the side, right by the stadium. I mean, They did it when I played in UK, and it was a good thing. And I guess it is a. Do you think that they're holding back to say which male program they got to drop to bring this aboard? Because I remember coming to the University of Kentucky. And everybody was whining. I didn't know. I'm not a wrestler, so I didn't care. It didn't affect me. And they dropped wrestling to bring in a all girls. I don't know what they brought in. So you think that's why the hesitation, trying to figure out if they can bring both at the same time, or they have to drop one to bring one? Are you running into that anywhere?
That's a good question. I haven't heard anything in that respect. And you're right. Schools are going to have to look at how they're going to allocate the funds for these programs. And is it going to be that another program is sacrificed because it may not have made news where you are, but UC Davis just dropped their equestrian program here, which UC Davis is about 30 minutes from us here in Sacramento, Davis, California. So, and that was a big deal. A lot of people were upset about the end of that program. And I've seen where there are some men's flag football programs on the collegiate level. And given that flag football is not just becoming an Olympic sport, but that the NFL is creating a professional flag football league for men and women.
Yeah.
How much is this going to play a factor, like you said, into the programs becoming scholarship sports at the expense of another program? And I will tell you, what I've run in on the youth level is that I've had parents, because 2022, I actually ran my own flag football league for my nonprofit Solid Ground Sports Academy. We had Solid Ground flag football. And you should have seen how many boys I had, because there are parents who don't want their sons playing tackle football. So with the emergence of the men's flag football on the collegiate level, and then the professional flag football leagues, and there are men who are on the U.S. national team for flag football competing. So I'm kind of questioning, are we going to see an emergence? Because there are so many boys playing flag football. You have these travel teams that have girls and boys teams. USA Flag Football is hosting these talent ID camps for the junior national teams. So are we going to see men's flag football on the collegiate level at some point too? I'm curious. And like you said, schools only get so much money, but I also kind of feel like you're going to see maybe more corporate sponsorship. You're going to see companies investing more monies, because I believe you're going to see these games be televised more often, especially because of the explosion and the emergence of women's collegiate flag football.
I think we're already kind of seeing that, because the reason why I think a lot of the girls' flag footballs are around right now is because the NFL teams have invested. I know for a fact that the owner of the Atlanta Falcons funded the whole state of Georgia for girls flag. The owner of the Panthers funded the whole state of North Carolina for girls flag. And there's other states that NFL teams that have done that same thing.
But it takes that, because you can fund one, but you got to play people.
Yes.
And you can have one person doing it, but other ones they got to have somebody to play.
Well, right. I know for Georgia, they offered every school that wanted to offer girls flag, they paid for them to play. So they have like a league, and
that's not what I'm saying.
They're playing.
I'm saying the overall objective of anything, and I'm going to lacrosse. Okay, I'm not doing flag now. Take me back 10 years with lacrosse. Lacrosse was big in up in Colorado area. It was huge. I didn't realize they was giving out scholarships in lacrosse then, about 10, 15 years ago. And I have a very good friend, Donnie. His son got a scholarship to go off to college. But he said they started building lacrosse when his son was in the second grade. He didn't get big until his son was a junior in high school.
Wow.
It took it that long to get started throughout the United States. Because that's where I'm looking at.
And I agree with you.
Yeah.
Flag has already been around for a long time.
Yes.
It's just now getting to this point.
Yeah, because the main objective to me, when I look at it at my age and watching sports, flag football is entertaining. And we both know you got to be entertaining. And it's sort of like anything else, any sport you do, unless you have a love. My wife does not have a love for baseball. None. Zero. And none. I can sit and watch 3 baseball games in a row. And one hit could happen, and I'm happy with that hit. It's no different like soccer. A lot of people have a problem with soccer, but you have a lot of fans waiting for that one big play. That means your heart's in it. My heart's in baseball. Their heart's in soccer. And the main objective is to get people who ain't got the heart in the flag football, who doesn't have it. Am I off base on that, saying that, or am I right on track? That's what you got to get to make it what it should be.
I think it'll be a lot of people like you and I. I started off as a coach, as a basketball coach, and I've transitioned into a football coach, just like you transitioned from a basketball coach, and now you've transitioned into a flag football coach. So I think that what you're saying is dead on. It's just going to be a matter of, more people just transitioning into flag as it gets more popular.
And it's got to keep going, because I never, and I'm going to take this moment, but I never will forget when the ladies U.S. team won the soccer. It was amazing.
Yes.
The world went crazy. But then people stopped talking about it when it went out of season.
Right.
I mean, you had the momentum. And I hope what you're doing and what Coach is doing, Coach Wright is doing, and everybody else is doing, is even when it's not flag football season, you still got to talk about flag football. Out of sight is out of mind. I don't care what it is until people get used to it again.
Well, the good thing about it is that it's pretty much become year-round, because you'll see youth programs running winter leagues. For us in high school, at least here in California, it's a fall sport. So we run side by side with tackle, and we play games 2, 3, sometimes 4 times a week, whereas tackle is once a week. And then on the flip side, on the collegiate level, flag football is spring. So it's where you'll see it year round. And there are tournaments on the youth level that are year round. You see these showcases, you see these combines. So I believe it's a constant. You're going to see it year round. So it's going to continue to get attention, because you're going to, every time you turn around, when you see on social media, you'll see something pop up on IG about a combine. You'll see something pop up about a tournament. And so I think, like you said, we got to keep it out there. We want to keep the conversation going. And I just believe that the momentum is just building and building and building, leading up to the Olympics in 2028. And for us, I just believe after next Saturday, January the 31st, when we have the inaugural Heritage Girls Flag Bowl, what that game is going to do, not just in the city of San Diego, but for the girls, for the families, when, their respective communities get to watch them via the live stream and the people in person when they get back home. The impact, I believe, is going to be tremendous. And my prayer is that every young lady competing will get at least one scholarship offer. That's our prayer, because we're trying to get these girls exposure, because some of them aren't getting the exposures. We have girls, like we have a girl who has 18 offers. We have some girls who haven't gotten any offers. They need help. And so this showcase with the coaches we have that are actually coming to watch, with the coaches we'll be watching, that'll be watching via live stream that I've been able to connect with. They'll be able to see these girls, see the talent. Some girls that haven't been on the news or haven't been the player of the game, the player of the week, or the MVP. But the talent, I'm telling you, for both teams, North and South, the talent from top to bottom. We've got some awesome athletes, but also great students in the classroom that'll be competing.
So, Coach, do you have any? So, I'm affiliated with the Building Lives Through Sports organization. It's a nonprofit, and they're the ones that helped me to bring about our showcase for the first time in Kentucky this past year. And our Bluegrass showcase is actually on March the 21st. And then we have a Buckeye showcase in Ohio on April the 18th, where college coaches will be. But they're holding a virtual recruiting fair on Monday, February the 16th at 9:00 in the morning. Do you have any female coaches that maybe, because we want a flag coach on that virtual recruiting fair?
Oh, wow. Okay.
So if you know any female, I guess, or just any of the flag coaches, I prefer a female, but even any flag coach that would like to come on, we would love to have them on.
Are you talking about flag from the high school level?
From the college level.
From the college level? Yes, I know several coaches.
Yeah, we would love to have it, because we want the college. It's a virtual recruiting fair for for the college coaches to recruit players. So we would like but we would like the college coaches for flag to also be included in that, on that recruiting fair. So we're going to make sure we connect with that and see if we can get them invited onto that.
Well, on both of what both of you were saying, the greatest thing about 2026 is you have Facebook, you have Twitter. And that's, I've always said this, and she can tell you, I am not about that. I'm at that age, and I still don't mind turning my dial like this or turning the channels that way. But with that said, right now is when I'm talking about flooding the world, if you will, of ladies flag football, is every one of your ladies need to go on their Facebook and say something, because then people will share it. And, it's no different than somebody's birthday. I mean, the next thing you know, somebody's got 500 people because who they shared it with.
Right.
Because everybody's sharing differently. Like what you're doing, if everybody that's in contact with you go on Facebook and put that out, then other people come on that doesn't even really know, but they know you, they share it on their site. And next thing you know, there's coaches, there's players, there's presidents of universities that will see it because they're friends with this person. Because what do we say? We're 7 people knowing everybody in the United States. That's it. And it's always a connection. And I truly believe that if you really want people to know, is to get people who don't know to know.
So I want to acknowledge Coach Griggs on here, Coach Gilmore. GPAC in Arizona will have a junior college women's flag football next year. They're offering all-inclusive price for housing, meal plan, and athletic fees. Scholarships available for all women in the league.
Read it again.
Oh, that's awesome. Coach Griggs, we need to connect. Thank you for sharing that information. Let's connect, please.
Absolutely. And we'll definitely connect with the Building Lives Through Sports. I want to shout out Ryan Montgomery, his mom, Lalisa Anthony, Dr. Anthony, who we've had on there. Our boy Los and my girl Kiva, who all, those are who I partner with the Building Lives Through Sports here in Kentucky. We kind of run, those things. Again, our showcase is on March 21st and April 18th in Ohio. But the virtual fair is, matter of fact, I had the link on here.
Ohio's a big state.
Oh, Columbus, somewhere near Columbus, somewhere like that. I thought I had I'm gonna write the through sports.
So Coach, how many when you're doing your flag football and you get your team, how many players are you normally have on a team, and how many coaches do you have on a team?
So it really depends on the school. When it comes to the high school, how many are on the staff. I know where I am at Christian Brothers, our head coach, Coach Bradley, we have several coaches on our coaching staff. When I was a head coach last year, I was the only coach. And so you'll find some cases where the head coach may be the only coach that team has. And then it's as far as the number of players, that also depends on the school, what type of response you're getting from the students. You can have as little as 7 because it is 7-on-7. And I've seen teams that only had 7, maybe 8, 9, 10 players.
Which they're in good shape.
They're in good shape because they got to play the whole game.
They have to be in good shape because let me tell you, especially with the heat here in Sacramento in August and September, they better be in good shape. But I know at our school.
So y'all don't have San Diego. Y'all don't have San Diego weather then.
No, San Diego is a lot nicer. But I know that at our school, we carry about 20. I think we have like 20, 22 players. For the Heritage Bowl, we're carrying 25 each team. And I've talked to one of the college coaches. He said he's looking to carry 30 players on his squad. So it depends on the coach. I think 30 is the highest I've heard in terms of 7-on-7. I've seen 10, I've seen 12, I've seen 16. But yes, it all depends on, what your school, the demographics, and how many young ladies come out, and then how many teams you have, because you may just have a varsity squad, and then you may have JV and varsity. I think we have 44 girls between JV and varsity.
44 is a lot.
Yes.
So with you being a previous basketball coach and y'all's league kind of falling in basketball season, was there a conflict between the sports as far as girls that normally would play basketball and now they're playing flag? Has that been an issue?
So I can tell you that when it comes to, like, say, doing off-season workouts and even in the summer, because you will find girls play multiple sports. They may play flag for the school. They may play on a travel team for flag, or they're playing basketball or soccer or softball. So I've seen all that. So off-season training, there's flexibility there because, or even with track, which is good for high school, well, any other sports, but especially track is good conditioning transitioning to flag, or even with soccer because of the footwork element there. But once we get into season, it's a different story. You still kind of run into that issue, but some coaches of the other sports will be flexible, but then you'll run into some who just want you to focus on their sport. So, it just depends on the school and it depends on the coaches. But my philosophy is let them play it all, because they may be good at one versus the other. And one sport helps them condition when they transition into the next, so you don't have to worry about them getting in shape. They're going to already be in shape. So,
and I love how you said that, because that is a factor. I've been coaching for many, many years, a lot of years. And right now, every coach, male or female, wants that kid only to do that sport.
right.
And then you will hear college coaches say, I love multiple sport athletes.
Yes.
But some of the high school coaches ain't hearing that.
No.
They're not hearing it. And that's the first thing that takes place. I'm like, guys, you need to play another sport.
I think that's my only reservation about it, is that I don't sometimes, I know here in Lexington where we live, we already are having a hard time filling, the volleyball rosters and the basketball rosters as it is. And so then if we bring in flag football, I just don't know where we're going to be able to kind of fit that in, because then in the spring we have track, we have softball, we have lacrosse in the spring. And so it's just, I'm just afraid of pulling, athletes from different areas where they know. But what I also understand too is I know everybody's not going to be a basketball player.
Right.
Your skill set in basketball is not getting ready to get you a full ride scholarship. You're not going to be fast enough to get a full ride scholarship in track. You're not going to be skilled enough to get those scholarships in the softballs and volleyballs and all those. But your skills can translate into getting you a full ride scholarship into flag football.
Well, that's the same thing that takes place now in boys football, in tackle football. There's a young man, he thinks he's a basketball guy.
Yeah, and you're better off playing football.
And the next thing you know, he's playing football, and you can see his skill set. And that college skill set, woo, just like the young lady. I mean, we had a young lady at my school today. She was in the gym, and she never does anything. And then all of a sudden, they start throwing a football, and she's running, and she says she catches footballs all the time with her brother.
Okay.
And I was like, I didn't think you was that athletic. And she shows some skill sets. And I think that's what flag football is going to show, that will override volleyball, because you step, move. That's it.
Yes.
Softball is step, move. Football, you got to move. You got to show feet,
yes,
hip, jumping ability, sprinting ability. And I think that will, Terri, Coach, that would actually swayed, if I can use that word, swayed that young lady over to flag football. And then it sort of swayed the parent going, whoa, you can get a scholarship doing this one.
Yes.
but you're not getting any offers to do this other one.
Because your skill set, flag football is your skill set. And do you feel that way, Coach?
I do. I believe that flag football definitely is a sport that showcases skill set. And I'm a coach who's big on fundamentals. I'm big driving home those fundamentals, whether I was coaching basketball or flag. So being able to take those angles, and you talk about somebody being athletic and having speed, but if you've got solid fundamentals and you take good angles, you can cut off somebody with that speed. If you know how to break down, if you're playing a linebacker or a DB, you can get the flag of that person who might be a little quicker than you with your fundamentals. Your fundamentals can exploit somebody who is weak in fundamentals despite their speed or their athleticism. So yes, if you got the skill set, you may not necessarily have the speed, but if you have those fundamental skills down, for me, they say offense wins games, defense wins championships. So I'm big on that, like I said, that fundamental aspect, because I believe the fundamentals, that you can beat anybody any given day of the week if you got those fundamentals down.
Yeah, that's a great statement, Coach. Fantastic statement.
So you said you started a league a couple of years back with your nonprofit. So even back then, where has the growth come from even then till now?
Oh, so just with the kids that I had. So I think we started out we had 50 kids signed up. We had 6 teams for that program. And just looking at other programs that are in the area, I kind of stepped back when I started coaching high school, just because when you hit that high school level, it's very time consuming, especially when you're a head coach at the varsity level. And of course, I was building a new program. So 2024, I didn't do a league. But 2022, we had 6 teams and 2 in each division. So I was happy about that. Now, once we get past the Heritage Bowl and we're rebuilding our youth program, I can see 100 kids easy, just because there are so many kids out there, so many leagues, and because the girls program, the girls and the women is just so huge. Like I said, for us to pull 100 girls, I don't think it'll be a problem at all. And we're going to be starting here. We'll be working on that once we get back from the Heritage Bowl. But the interest is just crazy. It is. It's just mind blowing. Just the interest you see, even from little girls. I have a granddaughter who is 6, 7 years old, and even when she was like 3, 4, she grabbed a football. So you got these little 6, 7-year-olds, 5-year-olds who want to play. And so we're going to give them the opportunity to come out and play. So to see 100 girls sign up for a league, it's not impossible.
Especially in California.
Well, I think in anywhere, because to me, right now the pastime used to be baseball. It's football. So that means that girl has been watching with the brother, the father, the uncle, the cousin, the wife, the sister, and they're like like you said, you're a 49er fan. So if you wasn't doing this and the Niners are playing, there's your daughter, granddaughter sitting there going, I want to play football. And you're looking at them like, and now here's flag football. Gives them the opportunity to live their dream. And that's what life is about. Amen. That's what life is about. Is being able, given the opportunity to do something you want to do, not something just because it's there. And football is right now in the United States is just booming, and every aspect. You look at high school football, the tackling on Friday nights. There's a lot of young, beautiful young ladies, little girls out there watching their brothers.
Yes.
And now And next thing you know, their brothers are watching them.
Yes, exactly. Instead of them watching the brothers.
Yes.
And it's interesting that you say that because we've had, and you've seen it, young ladies, young women who have gone to tackle football. But
Yes.
now and the parents let them, God bless them. But now there's an option for a platform that's being created just for them without the impact of having to put on shoulder pads and a helmet to play. It's just for them because when it comes to youth sports, to have a co-ed, that element of having boys competing alongside girls, it kind of takes away from the girls getting a fair opportunity. But when they have a platform that's just theirs, like flag football, girls only teams, here it is their time to shine, the opportunity for them to shine. And like we said, showcase their talent.
Well, my women's tackle football league actually also encouraged all of the tackle teams to get a flag team. And so now at the national championship in July, they have the regular flag tackle championship games, and now they're also having a flag championship game as a consolidation for those that win. So they're still incorporating the flag and the tackle, and they're encouraging all the tackle teams to also have a flag team, which I thought was huge.
But that's what you just said, and Coach Bryant yourself. That's where the skill sets comes in, because flag football is so like pickup basketball. It makes you learn to use your hips a little bit more.
Yes, yes, sir.
I'm sorry, I played it. I was actually in Dallas, Texas. It was 114 degrees. Never will forget it. God has put it into me because I thought I was going to pass out because it was so hot. And we finished third in the nationals, and it helped. I would say I should have played flag if I went to tackle, because it's so like basketball. Pickup games, you learn to move your body because people are coming over to block your shot. Flag football, you learn to use your hips more and use your feet more, and it sort of gets you ready to tackle.
Right. It's definitely with the hip dips and the hip twist, which we definitely practice on a regular in practice, working on it. And I mean, you see some of them girls, the way they can drop their hips and get through defenders blows me away how skilled some of these young ladies are with the hip dips. Listen, I can tell you, at a family picnic back in August, we played a little pickup flag game, and I got the ball and I hit them with the hip dip and got through and did a twist and scored a touchdown. And I looked at them like, don't underestimate me now. Don't underestimate auntie. Don't underestimate cousin. You don't know me like that.
That's funny.
Well, the funniest thing is, Coach, is the thing about that is when you get a Tyreek Hill, Cheetah, who does the hip and hip, he actually elevates himself. But let's not be twisted. Ladies are more flexible than males. So their ability to move their body in a certain way is an advantage. It's an advantage because I've watched flag football of guys, and I'm like, okay, he makes a great catch, good catch, then he gets his flag for. The young lady makes a great catch, and she'll go, and her hips will go this way, the body go this way, and if I try that, I'm in traction.
Yes, sir. I understand.
Am I right? and that's what is, again, it's not anything. It's just another bonus that the United States works on entertainment. I don't care what anybody tells me, because that man or that woman that sits up there, wow, this is fun to watch.
Yes.
So on your episode, I wrote a note down here that asked you this. I flipped my notes. Is this going to be televised on Fox, ESPN, CBS, ABC, or local? Is it going to get some TV coverage?
Well, we haven't made it to that level just yet. However,
Okay.
our official media sponsor, shout out to Josh Panetta, Jaffos TV. It will be on live streamed on their YouTube channel.
Yeah, but
we'll,
it's out there. Yes.
yes, it'll be out there. We'll make sure it'll be posted on Facebook as well. But yes, Jaffos TV, you'll be able to catch the live stream of our game and the tackle football game. Kickoff for us will be at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. 4 o'clock your time. So you will be able to catch the game live.
What's the date again?
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday, January 31st.
There we go. Because I mean, I'm a telecommunication guy, so the more you say it, the more people hear it. And and my wife, I said this earlier, what is not understood is misunderstood. Don't ever think people really process. So you got to sort of just like a song. If I can't sing, she can sing, I can't sing. But if we did a song together, what do we do with those music songs? We play it over and over and over and over, and then people start hearing it. If you say it once, they may not get it. That's why I was talking about the Facebook of saying it, constantly pounding it out here so people will know what you're doing and how you're doing it and the way you're doing it, and it catches your attention.
So Mr. Brown said, do you see growth and interest in flag for women's football? So this past weekend, actually in Orlando, was a women's national flag tournament.
Hold on. You want to say, hey, Mr. Brown, what's up, boss? Got to give a shout out. That's our man right there.
Yep. Was a women's national tournament. And there are leagues, women's leagues, grown women league. Matter of fact, there's a regular flag, and then they actually have contact flag, which is I think it's just the next level from rugby or tackle.
But let me say this. This is what I, as Coach Brown, been saying through this whole show. Mr. Brown did not know that. Now, you two knew that.
Yeah.
But Mr. Brown didn't know it. That's why I said we have to make sure people that don't know. Because he asked the question. And both of you were like, yes, we have this, this, and this. Now we need to say it more so Mr. Brown will go, oh, we got this. That's what I meant by it.
Exactly.
If that makes sense, Coach.
Right. You're right, because we need to put it out there more. And just like Coach Terry was talking about, that those nationals, and our sister, our colleague, Maria Lachelle, of all her choice, shout out to our sister. She was there at the nationals, and I think she said there were like 600 games, which is mind-blowing. But all women. Also, they just had the flag football world championships. They either had it or it's coming up at Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. And some of those games get televised on ESPN too. So flag football is getting so much exposure. There's a gentleman I know, Dennis Friel. Shout out to my friend Dennis. He does flag football tournaments in the state of Texas. Dennis has been doing, I think he's been doing tournaments for like 20 years, and they're hosted at AT&T Stadium. So these kids get to go play on the same field as the Dallas Cowboys. There's a women's flag football tournament, Coach Terry. I don't know if you know about it, in October. I think it's the Terry McGillis women's flag football tournament. I think they do one in October and one in January, and I think that's in Florida. Also, there's so much out there that doesn't get enough publicity in the field of women's flag football. There's an International Women's Flag Football Association as well. So it's out there. We just need to keep putting it out there, keep talking about it so people will know and can support such a great initiative.
But I love what you said, Coach, is keep putting it out there. And I mean, I'm with my love of my world. She's my world. And her wanting this more for other people's is amazing. Because mostly people like yourself and like Terri is you want it for other people. And most people don't do that, put all that in unless it's something they want out of it. And
Right.
let's be real. And that's a fact. And people that's listening to this, I usually leave about this time, and she closes her show, but it is the passion that Coach Terri has for getting this flag football. You have no idea. It is amazing. I mean, I wasn't.
Yeah, I've sat down and I've talked with our representative at the KSAA, our high school governing
A lot.
thing. We've done whatever we need to do. There's 17 states that have sanctioned girls high school for flag. And I don't want Kentucky to be one of the last ones to finally come around about it.
But and I'll say this in closing, and she will say, use your influence on who you know.
Yes.
And sometimes I'm chilled. And then she'll go, no, you need to go speak to this person.
Yeah.
And it works, because I don't ask for much. And when I do, I'm blessed to get respect. I really am. I'm very blessed to do that. But Coach,
Yes.
it's very nice talking to you. This is what I normally do. And she usually hits me in the leg, say no, but I usually let her. This is Hips and Heels. This is her show. I'm blessed that she allows me to come on and to meet people like yourself and to hear your mindset of what you want and what you're doing for all these young people here in the United States. So again, Coach, good luck on your upcoming event. Good luck on your future, and I love the part that you said, it is our God. Amen.
Yes, sir. God bless you. Thank you. It's been an honor, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Well, I just want to reiterate for those that are watching that here in Kentucky, we have the Building Lives Through Sports Network, and we do have the Bluegrass Showcase at Kentucky State University on March the 21st. It's the only comprehensive, I think we're one of the first ones that did. It's a football showcase, a cheerleading showcase, and also a girls flag showcase. And then I'm not sure if the Buckeye Showcase on April the 18th is the same way, but I know we are having the one at Kentucky State on March the 21st. And there's a virtual recruiting fair on Monday, February 16th at 9:00. And that's for college coaches that are recruiting players for that. And they also do a college tour. They have an info meeting on January the 25th, and they also have an NAIA and NCAA eligibility workshop. That's also virtual on January the 25th from 6 to 8. And that's on the bltsnetwork.org that I put in the link. So you guys can go to the link and get the registration for all of those. And that's one of the ones, that's the local organization that I, and affiliated with. I don't know why I keep coughing. That I'm affiliated with. But Coach, I'm just so grateful and thankful again that you came on to talk about this, because again, when they talked about that, what was it, just last week when they talked about flag being an emerging sport, and I think there's 60 or 70 teams that's ready to go. I know that there was a D3 league on the East Coast that was starting. and they had a league in, I forgot where, I think it was maybe in Maryland, maybe Minnesota. I know it was having a league, and they had about 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 colleges. And we were excited when we had our showcase here. We had like 4 coaches. It was our first one. We had 60 girls and 4 coaches show up, and the coaches showed up needing a full roster of players.
Wow. Yes.
So there are so many brand new teams that are coming up, and these teams are needing to fill these rosters, and they're needing to fill these rosters pretty quickly. And so I'm just really excited about that, and about, connecting and networking as much as possible so that we can give these girls this opportunity to be able to get these scholarships, because I'm all about getting them.
I am too. And I appreciate you. I appreciate your passion, your genuineness. And I make that statement for this reason. You and I have been seeing all these showcases, combines, and things popping up. And unfortunately, especially now with the emergence of the NCAA collegiate programs, we're seeing people in it for the wrong reason. And that bugs me, because myself and having a conversation with Coach Wright, the fact that it's a money grab for some people that are doing these showcases. You got parents who want these opportunities for their daughters so bad. Some of these opportunities are so hyped up, and there's no guarantee that their daughter is going to get recruited by the coaching that show up. And you got all these girls coming. There may be just a handful of coaches that only have so many opportunities, but they go from opportunity to opportunity. Once that opportunity is over, they're not going to hear from those hosts who put on those events again. And that's why I'm so passionate about what we do, and I love what we do, and really want to, especially here in Sacramento, is stand out from anybody else who may be in our area who's not doing this for the right reason. It's about these kids at the end of the day. And I can tell you, everybody in our organization, we all work full-time jobs.
Yeah.
We don't have a multi-million dollar budget. We work full-time jobs, and we invest time and money into the work that we do, because we love what we do. We know in time there'll be funds that'll be there for us to do even more. But at the end of the day, it's about making a difference in the lives of these kids, help them accomplish the goals and the dream that they have. That's what it's in. Even more so, bringing glory to God, bringing glory, honor to God in what we're doing.
Absolutely. As long as he gets the glory, I think that I think people's hearts will be in it. You know what I'm saying? The money grab really gets me. I know even for like our camps, when we look at what other people are charging for their showcases, we're blown away. We're like, why does it cost that much to attend your showcase? It shouldn't be breaking people's bank pockets to attend a showcase.
No, it shouldn't. But the thing is, that's how these people make their money, putting on all these different showcases and different things. That's how they make a living, at the expense and the exploitation of these girls, these kids.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was affiliated with Building Lives Through Sports, because they only collect enough money to pay the bills. They're not putting nothing in their pocket. They're doing enough to or they're getting sponsors to pay for the uniforms, or you have to pay for the facility. You have to have the insurance, all that type of stuff. So there are costs involved, but $300 and $200, couple $100. I mean, anything over over $75, I think is too much. So, I don't know. That's just me. I don't get the money grab. I just don't get it. but maybe one
I
day
agree with you.
I'll understand, but right now I don't understand.
And let me tell you about what we're doing. So these kids are getting an all expense paid experience for a week in San Diego. It's not just a couple of practices, like I said, and that's it. They're gonna get um they're gonna connect with other kids. They're going to get some mentorship. There's gonna be a student athlete success conference on that Thursday where they will connect with different professionals in the community. There's so much going into what we're doing. And
Yeah.
like I said, it's about impacting their lives, making a difference in their lives. And that Friday, for those who want to make their way to San Diego, we're going to have a gospel concert.
Okay. That
Yes,
sounds, yeah, that's going to be fun. I know for,
it
for
is.
what for our showcase, they usually do a tour of the campus. Then there's
Mhm.
usually the information setting. They usually also have like a career fair with
Mhm.
different people. They have like somebody with the military, for those that maybe college isn't for them.
Yes,
And they have other stuff like that. And I think that one of the biggest things that I think we're going to start having is a financial advisor now that you have the NIL thing
yes,
as a thing. I think we're also offering a financial advisor to come in and talk about
yes,
the money part and being responsible with that money, because some of these kids, I
right.
know our school, is, got, is in the SEC. So the amount of money that
Mhm.
he's able to get is unbelievable. And
Yeah,
so having a financial advisor, just totally just helps a lot of these youth that are not that don't come from money, or parents that don't have the knowledge of that. So those are some of the things that I know that I like to see all the showcases have.
yes,
Yeah.
and it's so important. And that's something we're doing, teaching financial literacy. Like you said, these kids, when they get to school, they need to know how to budget. They need to know how to set up a bank account. They need to know how to manage that NIL money, their scholarship money, that work study money, whatever they get. They need to know how to prioritize um, their expenses, what's necessary versus something they want. Know how to save, put away toward the little extra things that are not a necessity, so that they don't get themselves
It's
in
so,
trouble with
and it's
credit
so hard to
cards,
get kids. Yeah.
loans, stuff like that.
It's so hard to get kids to understand that. It's hard to get
Yeah,
grown-ups to understand that. So
right.
it's very difficult to get kids to get a little piece of change in their pockets and not want to go buy whatever it is, that clothes and shoes and jewelry and the
Yeah.
new cars and all that type of stuff. It's so difficult. But somehow, some way, we've got to figure out a way to get to these kids and to the parents when it
Yeah.
comes to the financial literacy part of it. Well, Coach, we're going to wrap this up. I'm not going to hold you much longer. Is there anything that we didn't talk about that we need to talk about that
I
I
think
didn't bring up?
I think we covered it all. This has been such a rich, tremendous conversation. I have enjoyed it to the fullest, and I'm so honored that you invited me on the show. I think this has been a long time coming.
It
Since
has.
we connected, we've talked about it a little bit here and there. So I'm so honored, Coach Terri, that you have this platform and gave me an opportunity to come on and have this conversation with you and to share what we're doing with the world.
Well, I absolutely love what you're doing. I just it's the hottest thing going right now. So anytime we get an opportunity to for flag, we'll do it. I've had Coach. I think the only, besides the building lives through sports, I've had when we were talking about our showcase before, is I've had Coach Constable on when she
Okay.
was head football coach at Alabama State, because again,
Yes.
the first D1 school, and
Yes.
and she was and she happened to be at HBCU at the same time.
Right.
I hate that she didn't stay. It was probably just too much for her. And
Yeah.
I haven't been able to reach out to her to get the story of why she didn't stay. But I know I thought it would have been tough for her because she was away from her husband and she was away from her kids, and I
Right.
thought it would be tough. And Alabama, Montgomery is totally different from California.
I bet it is. And
Totally
we've
different from
connected a little
California.
bit, so I look
Yeah,
forward to being
totally
able to
different from
have a
California.
conversation with
Yeah,
Coach
so
Constable.
I can't imagine what some of the things that she's going through. I mean, I remember we had a conversation. She said that she ordered some food for her team to try to feed her team, and when they found out that they was at Alabama State, they canceled the order. Just stuff like that.
Whoa.
Yes, and she
What?
just was floored with. So I just can't imagine what she was going through. But I'm
Wow.
so excited that she was the first because she still was able to put that on the map. So now that I have you on here, we're going to wrap this up. I just said that. Is there anything that you've ever wanted to say on a public platform that you've never had an opportunity to say?
Wow. That's a good question. I can't even think of anything that I've never had the opportunity to say. I'll say this, and this is for anybody watching. If you have children who are in sports or any facet of life, or even you, go for whatever your dream is. Don't let anybody stop you from going for whatever goals you have, whatever dreams. And if your dream isn't big enough that it scares you, it's not big enough. Dream big. Don't be afraid to dream big. Aim high, because the sky is the limit to what you can accomplish. If you can think of it, especially with God first, you can definitely accomplish it. Let people talk about you, look past you, overlook you. You're just underestimated. And it's all right to be underestimated, because the Bible says the last shall be first. So just maybe your time is coming up for you to come from obscurity to be put in the forefront. I'm a living witness, been there. And I feel like the time is now for somebody like me, little old me.
Let's
I'm being
go.
put out in the forefront. And these young ladies, some of them who have been behind the scenes, on January 31st, these girls are going to be put out in the forefront. So that's all I got.
Well, I can't wait. I can't wait. Well, listen, thank you so much for coming on. I definitely
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
When I end the stream, don't log off because we'll talk offline.
Okay.
I do want to say thank you for Mr. Brown, and you had a couple of guests pop on. I did not. Whoever Trust God's Process 24 is. OZG-U6M said, "Look at my queen," and
That
Coach
is
Griggs,
my husband.
your husband.
That was my husband. Okay.
Okay, cool. He said, "Look at my queen." So your hubby came on and supported you, of course, and Coach Griggs. We're definitely going to reach out to Coach Griggs.
Yes.
Chris Griggs. He's a GPA. So let me write that down so I can look him up
Let's
when I
definitely
get
reach out.
connect with him when we get offline at Arizona Junior College. Yeah, because we had talked about to someone else in college, and I don't know if that's the same Coach Griggs. I talked to somebody in Arizona. They was wanting us to come and help them start a program down there, and they were going to have like a facility, like a live-in type of thing situation. So I don't know if that's the same guy or not. It might be. But Coach, thank you again. I want to thank the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame for sponsoring Layshaw. I think I do have an inductee coming on next week. I have to confirm that. I won't say the name in case they don't come on. But I think we have one of our past inductees as a guest starting next week. And we're getting ready to kick off the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame. I think our process with our class of 2026. We're getting ready to start that up. So I'm excited about that anyway. But anyway, thank you everybody. Make sure you subscribe, share. If there's anybody that you know that probably that haven't been able to tell their story and want a platform to be able to tell their sports story, I'm open to see and talk to them and bring them on. So I love hearing people's stories that we normally don't get a chance to get their flowers. I love doing that. But Coach, thank you for coming on. I'm going to end the stream, but don't you go nowhere. Love y'all. We'll see y'all next week.